let's talk about Tony Soprano's Goomars. Now, if we're talking about Goomar in the traditional sense of the word,
Saturday night was for wives, but Friday night at the Copa was always for the girlfriends.
Irina, Gloria, and Valentina would qualify. But in order to keep it as broad as possible, I'm going to talk about all of the women that Tony either slept with or wanted to sleep with.
All I'm saying is no marriage is perfect.
Well, having that goomah on the side helps.
First, Irina Peltsin. I should note that the Irina that we see in the pilot is different from the Irina that we see the rest of the time. Irina works at a perfume counter at the mall, but it's implied that she worked at the Bada Bing previously.
What's that painting mean to you?
Nothing, it just reminds me of David Hockey.
Don't give him that shit.
They like it.
Hey, what'd I tell you? He's gonna choke.
She has hard life. Parents, both of them were alcoholics in Petrozavodsk, horrible industrial city. The father died, 55 years old. Lung cancer, cirrhosis of the liver. She had to go to Kazakhstan to live with uncle, Rut, miserable man.
After Tony breaks up with Irina, she ends up in the hospital.
It's 20 halcyon and a quart of vodka. In a fucking ambulance, they pumped her stomach.
Do you feel responsible for her suicide attempt?
Well, she's a sweet kid underneath it all, and I think she's seriously depressed.
He is sympathetic and does comfort her when he sees her. And again, I think this goes back to him seeing her like a child.
All right. Everything's gonna be all right. Okay?
Irina comes into play again after Assemblyman Zellman tells Tony in late season 4 that he and Irina have been seeing each other. So Tony stops by one night.
You beat him with belt. He fell weak in front of her. She told me he couldn't perform. They broke up not so long after.
Girls in New Jersey, you had to fuck this one?
The last time we hear from Irina is in Whitecaps, when she calls the Soprano house. This time, she gets through to Carmela.
I used to fuck your husband.
Gloria Trillo.
Gloria Trillo, Globe Mercedes.
Tony and Gloria's relationship was quick but powerful.
It's you.
I had my eye on one of these. What if I take it for a test drive? I gotta go.
You know what? Here, take your fucking dinner!
They meet in season 3, episode 8, and their relationship is done by season 3, episode 12. And to me, Gloria is like a surrogate for Livia.
Between the Buddhism and talk about the family, poor you.
You know, maybe I'll just call a cab.
Oh, you know, that's okay, Jerry. I'll give her a lift. I'm going out anyway. Gloria Trillo.
Are you out of your fucking mind talking to my wife? Now it's time to put it to bed. I didn't just meet you. I've known you my whole fucking life.
Usually they just engage in what's called threat behavior.
You call or go anywhere near him or his family. We understand each other? It won't be cinematic.
But the next time he hears about her is in season 4, episode 6. And that's when he finds out that she died by suicide. Even after Tony has this very intense, very scary nightmare with Gloria, it's not the last time we see her. She appears again in Tony's test dream.
Sometimes what happens here is like taking a shit.
I prefer to think of it as more like childbirth.
Maybe it is more like childbirth. You tell me.
I don't have any children. I died too young.
So it seems clear that Gloria is on his mind, whether in the front or the back of it, for some time. Valentina La Paz.
La Paz. What's that, Puerto Rican?
Cubana. My mother was Italian. My father Cuban.
A dangerous combination.
Tony Soprano and women also can be a dangerous combination.
If you're interested, give me a call.
Tony meets her when Ralph introduces them in season 4, episode 8, Mergers and Acquisitions, and Tony officially ends things with Valentina in long-term parking after she accidentally sets herself on fire while making eggs for Tony in the previous episode. I don't know about you, but when I see Tony run over to Valentina with the blanket covering her, it reminds me of when Tony sees Pyomai after she's died, and he picks up the blanket and sees her.
To pie or mine?
My.
Your what?
No, the name. It's Pyomai.
This is how you leave me? When I'm almost burned to death cooking you a fucking snack?
Come on, honey. You could have just as easily been making yourself something to eat.
Tony was certainly very attracted to Valentina, but I think what gave him the most satisfaction was taking someone from Ralph. Even though he claimed to not want to go there if Ralph had been there, I think he very much enjoyed that fact, which is why he tells Ralph about it while Ralph's son is still in the hospital.
Seeing that girl you used to date, that, Valentina.
I give my best to Camilla.
I feel like Ralph is bringing this up just as like a, yeah, you're an asshole, the fact that you cheat on your wife in the first place, sort of thing.
Maybe if I met a girl like Camilla, my life could have taken a whole different trajectory.
Julianna Skiff.
Hey, she's coming this way.
Anthony Soprano.
Yeah.
Julianna Skiff.
The fact of the matter is, Julianna Skiff was more like Christopher's Goomar. Tony meets her in season 6, episode 8, Johnny Cakes, because she works for Jamba Juice and wants to purchase Caputo's eggs, which Tony owns. And when Tony goes over to her place to sign the contract, they start hooking up. But then when they're getting into it and Julianna starts unbuttoning Tony's shirt, he thinks of Carmela in the closet that very day, helping him button up his shirt.
My handsome man.
Stop.
Svetlana Kirilenko.
No.
The nurse who took care of your mother, who I liked? Who I talked to on the telephone about your mother's alopecia and her bowel movements?
One of the interesting things about Svetlana that separates her from the others is that she really doesn't care to see Tony again after they hook up. In fact, she turns him down right to his face, and he's really thrown off by this.
You didn't like it?
I like it very much. But Tony, come on. I don't want all the time prop you up.
Svetlana tells Tony that the reason Irina found out that she'd slept with Tony is because the other nurse who came home and saw them together got something taken out of her paycheck. So she went and told Irina that Svetlana slept with Tony.
It won't be cinematic.
Sonya Aragon. Sonya is someone who we only see in one episode, Kennedy and Heidi, season 6, episode 18. And Sonya is someone who Christopher knew. She's memorable for a variety of reasons, not least of which is because she offers Tony peyote, which they take together and that leads up to the big, I get it moment. Not only has Tony's gambling luck changed, but he also got laid by a girl who Christopher had hooked up with in the past. So to me, I see that as almost like his way of making up for not sleeping with Julianna.
No, you were his friend, that's all. Chris sometimes talked about some sad shit, but you seem, I don't know, actually sad.
I get it!
Anika. Anika is also a one-episode character. We see her in season 6, episode 15, Remember When? She's one of the girls that accompanies Beansy to dinner with Tony and Polly.
Honestly, I thought he was your dad at first.
There was a time when I wished he was.
The Dermatology Nurse. We see the Dermatology Nurse in 2 episodes. The first is a regular around the margins.
You okay?
You think you got it all?
We hope so.
And the second time we see her is in Cold Cuts, at the end.
Doctor has a peel at 1. Hi.
There's also a girl who works at Barone Sanitation, the office, who Tony passes the time with. And then in Tony's dream, he calls an escort.
The doctor will be with you both.
Like a mandolin.
Camilla, I slept with them.
So again, just to wrap it all up, I think if we're thinking of Goomar in the traditional sense, Irina, Gloria, and Valentina would fall into that category. The others are just casual, one-time things. But I think it's important to include them just to give the whole context of Tony Soprano's extramarital activities. That's all for now. I'd love to hear your thoughts.
In your eyes,